Welcome to Inspiration from the Conversation podcast. It's here where I hope you'll find inspiration. Hi, my name is Jeff. I'm your host, and this is episode 4, Manheim Clipping. And it's already starting off a little different on this specific episode. I don't have my intro music in place. And the reason for that is I'm going to play a song that I created a few months ago. And again, it's not award winning, but it's just something that I've done. And just kind of trying to learn a different skill or a new skill, I guess I should say. As I really thought about this episode, it's really about the reason why I continue to work, even though most of the time when I get up to prepare for work on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday mornings, I ask myself why. And the reason why I ask myself why is because I am retired from the military, I'm retired from the state, and I also retired from Sheets. So I just really don't know why I continue to do it, other than the fact that I guess I don't mind, and plus my health is still reasonably good. So I guess I will continue to work a little while longer. And it's funny because you know back years ago when I used to get upset on the job, my late wife would remind me that, hey, you're blessed to have had the jobs that you had. And she's right. Like most of the time, she was right. And but sometimes we have to be reminded of those things. But anyway, my current job is I'm a driver for Manheim. And what I do on Mondays, I drive cars to the auction block and through the auction block. And while I'm in the block, the car dealers, they come up and they look at the car and they bid on the cars. And then an auctioneer is, rattling off. And that in itself is amazing how they do that. I don't know how they do that. But anyway, they do that, and then I'm motioned to leave the block, and I take the car back, and I get another one, and that's pretty much what I do for the next 3 to 4 hours. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, what I do is we move cars to their respective lane and spot, and we try to make sure that they're in the correct spot that they're supposed to be in. And normally, what happens is either they're written on the driver's side glass, or there's a run number, which is a ticket that's attached to the windshield, and that's how we determine what location, what lane, and what spot that the car is supposed to be parked in. And this is a simple job, and I really enjoy the job. But I think what I enjoy most of, I guess the most thing that I guess I'm trying to say is that I enjoy is the crew that I work with. It's a crew, and it's 4 of us. It's 2 men, 2 women, and most of the time we really have a good time. I mean, we talk about the importance of family, health, work, and we keep religion and politics to the minimum. Everybody has their perspective thoughts on politics and religion. But we have a rule that we can't cut up with one another before 9 o'clock. Most of the time we're trying to figure out what we need to do, and marching orders from one or two of the supervisors as far as what location we need to concentrate in order to get the cars parked. But most days, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm talking about, we cut up before 9 o'clock. Case in point, last week, Miss Janet had found a story on her phone, and it talked about 40 monkeys had got loose from a facility in South Carolina. And that was before 9 o'clock. And boy, we went in on that story. It was hilarious. But, it's things like that that, allow you to enjoy, work, especially if you're working with people that are, really have basically the same values, I guess, that you do, and can get along and can give constructive criticism, and can back one another up when need to be. I mean, it's really rare to have that, and I do have that. It is just really nice. And another thing that they do out there, they most employees, I'm talking about among the drivers. I don't know about some of the other areas, but some of the drivers are given nicknames. And for instance, mine is called Rip. And the reason why, it's not from Yellowstone, but the reason why they call Rip, that's short for Rip Van Winkle, because they say every time they look at me, my eyes are closed. And a lot of times they are, but that's because I'm listening to a podcast on, through my phone. Now, that's most of the time. Now, the other time, I'm going to plead the fifth. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But another thing I like about Manheim is, I don't have any benefits, for being part-time. Although full-time, my understanding is that the benefits are pretty good. But part-time, we do have access to the 401k. And that's nice to put a little bit of money out of each check into a 401k. They match, and then you put yours in, and it's just really nice. It's a win-win situation, really. I've always liked the fact that companies do that. But what's really amazing is 3 months after I started, they started the 401k on me. And really, that's unheard of. Most companies, you have to wait almost a year before you can get into the 401k. But that's really nice. It really is. And then the other benefit, even though I don't have any benefits, you get the opportunity to drive some nice cars. I have driven some nice cars out there. And, it helps you to make your mind up whether or not, if you had the money, would you buy that car? And sometimes it's like, no, it's a nice car, but no, this is not for me. Especially if you have to crawl in and fall out to get out of the car. But anyway, it's just one of those things, I guess. But again, they have some nice cars out there. But and it's interesting because I'm talking about the job, but my oldest granddaughter, she called me a couple of weeks ago to check up on me, and one of our conversations were, one day being able to work somewhere where there's no stress. The pay is okay. And, other than your supervisor or yourself, as far as responsibility, you don't have any. And you have fun. And I told her that I can honestly say that I'm in that phase of my life. Um, a lot of the jobs that I had, because I had a maintenance background, I either had to work in the cold, work in the hot, whether that meant I was on the roof looking at something, whether it was cold or hot, and sometimes even when it was raining, I had to be out and about in the elements. And and it's the same thing here, but it's a little different, because basically we're getting in and out of cars pretty much most of our shifts. So um, either if it's hot, most cars have AC, some don't. And then when it's cold, most have heat. So even though you're in the elements, you're not in the elements very long. And you dress accordingly. But I can honestly say that this is the phase of my life where um, money is not the biggest thing that I'm looking at here. Yes, it's nice to have a little bit of money, to kind of help with a couple of the bills in retirement. But it also gives you the affordability to get some of the things, some things, especially if you have a couple of hobbies, you can actually have a few funds to take care of some of those hobbies, and that's really nice to be able to do that. And thus the reason why I guess I continue to work. I mean, aside from uh, interacting with people, which it's always good to interact with people. Getting up on the days that I have to go to work, it provides me with some type of structure. And I think a lot of it had to do with, military, because we were always, always had to get up. We always had to do this. You always have to do that. That also gave me, I want to believe, great work ethics. I never really minded working, even when you're around people that um, they can be, people can be a trip sometimes. But I can honestly say that that really doesn't bother me. I did have one instance, but I'm not going to talk about that here. And aside from that one instance, everything has been good. I enjoy the crew that I'm in. I enjoy the employees that I work around, because even outside of my the crew that I work in, we still laugh and we still cut up. And most of the drivers are older adults, I guess, and that has something to do with it. They're dependable. Older adults are dependable. I'm not taking anything away from the younger generation, because there are some people in the younger generation, they do have great work ethics. But as we know, there are some that don't. But the majority of the people that I work with, the majority of the drivers that I work with, they are good people. They're there to do a job, because that's what the man hired us to do, was to do the job and do it to the best of our ability. But another thing I really like in this phase of my life, as far as working part time, it has opened me up to be somewhat creative. And this is the reason why I'm doing the podcast, because it's a skill that I'm learning, that I'm enjoying, and it's teaching me to try to speak, the best way that I can. Do I pronounce my words correctly? Not all the time. Maybe not none of the time. But it's opening me up to be comfortable in front of the mic and also in front of people. Most times I am quiet, but there are some times where I'm somewhat, not really opinionated, but if I have something to say, I will speak now. Years ago, I wasn't like that. Well, when I was young, I was. Then, as I, became older, I would listen, because that's a skill in itself too, is to listen. And then once you listen and you figure out what's going on, then you can kind of respond to whatever needs that you need to respond to. But what I like about this job is, again, that it has opened me up to be creators, to take chances. I am currently working on my YouTube channel, which I haven't posted anything in a while. I need to go out and get some content for that. I recently purchased some camera equipment to help me to achieve that. I'm still trying to figure out the camera, because I was very interested in photography a long time ago, and now I'm beginning to pick that hobby back up again, which that was something that I had thought about doing a long time ago, but now I'm in the process of doing it now. But again, the podcast and YouTube is allowing, those two outlets are allowing me to, I guess, vent the creative side, or show the creative side of me. Something that probably years ago I may not have tried, but recently am trying and doing. Will I get some of the views on the podcast and the YouTube channel that some of the other people um, are currently getting? No, probably not. But it's really not about that. It's always about the journey and the fact that you're learning something. So, what I did is, I do have this software. It's called Personas. I have a DAW, and I can connect microphones and instruments and mics to this box, and then that box is connected to the computer, and that software is able to record. Now, what's really neat about the software is that you can do little loops. So you can kind of do one loop, do another loop, do another one. So you can kind of layer, and then by the time you finish, you can have a pretty decent song. Now, am I going to win an award? No, I'm not going to win an award for this. But it does cause me to think that, hey, when DJs are, mixing, they're taking one song and then they're putting words behind, and they can get it to match different song and different instruments. And, it kind of allows you to experiment. And so a few months ago, I come home, and I started putting some stuff together. And the only reason why I did this is because I was on my way to my part-time job, and I was driving my Mini Cooper. I had another one before the one I have now, and it was nice outside. It wasn't too hot. The sun was out, and I had the sunroof open, and I had the music up somewhat loud, not real loud, because some of y'all know that I can't hear, but I did have it up a little loud. And what I did is, as I was listening to some music, I was thinking about, I can, now that I have the software, I'm going to experiment and do something. And it's funny because years ago, I used to tell my mother, because I used to listen to all this different music, and I'm like, man, I said, that song is nothing. I said, one day I'm going to make a song. Well, I guess a couple of months ago, this was my time. So I put together this song using personas with these different loops and different instruments. Not very many, but a couple of instruments, and I named it Manheim Clipping. And the reason why I named it that is because if I was running down the road, which I was, with the sunroof open and with the music loud, this, I think, would be something that I would listen to. Just this one song, because I'm about different songs and different genres and stuff like that there. But I think I would definitely, uh, I could definitely see myself playing this song. But anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop it right there. I'll come back when I have more time, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play my song. And if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, hit me up on ksbyjeff@gmail.com. ksby at Jeff, excuse me, ksbyjeff@gmail.com. Talk to you soon. Manheim Clipping. Manheim Clipping.